Lunch Lane Connect. Lunch Lane Connect.
Hello, everybody. Welcome again to our Lunch Learn Connect video podcast. Like I always say, I always have very important people in the house. And today I have my friend. I call him the real estate mogul. And he's well known all over the United States and different parts of the world. And he goes by the name Ayo the Realtor.
Thank you very much, brother.
You are welcome. And thank you for taking out the time to be with me today. I know you travel a lot and all of that, but the fact that you're here, I'm so happy to have you. So tell us, who is Ayo the Realtor?
Ayo is a very, very shy person who is a realtor.
Really?
In reality, people who really know me know that I'm a very shy person. I'm very shy. I only like do social media just to be out there for my business and stuff. Other than that, my personal life is my personal life. People don't know a lot. Those who know me really know me. I'm a realtor. I started my real estate career in Georgia. I've been licensed for 5 years. I'm still licensed in Georgia and Texas.
Oh, nice.
And I've sold houses all over Texas. The only place I have not sold is San Antonio, and I really want to do that. So San Antonio, watch out, I'm coming.
Okay.
I was born, bred, buttered in Lagos. I'm by origin from Ekiti State.
Okay.
Both my parents are from Ekiti State. My entire growing up was done in Lagos. Then part of secondary school was in Ekiti. My family is, heavily invested in politics in Nigeria.
Okay.
My grandfather was one of the first ministers during Awolowo's time from
nice.
Ekiti. And then he went on to become House of Assembly. He was chairman of different boards, Housing Corporation. And that's just basically about me. I love volleyball and soccer too.
Oh, you do? Okay,
Yeah, I
nice.
love volleyball.
And you talk about Lagos, being born and raised in Lagos?
Yes.
Where in Lagos?
So we started in Alakpere. That was in K2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I know Lagos.
Yes,
That's my city.
Lagos. Because my mother was teaching in Green Springs, so I went to Green Springs.
Okay.
And then from there, we briefly moved to Songo area because my dad built a house there.
Okay.
It was at that point in time, it was just like, let's just build something. And then he realized it's kind of too far from civilization. Then from there, we moved to Ikorodu. I went from Green Springs, I went to Jextoban. From there, I went to another school in Ekiti before I then went to Bowen University.
Oh, nice. And you are also in the United States Army.
Yes, I'm a reservist.
Oh, okay.
I'm a reservist. The army is wonderful. I've always wanted to do it. Even when I was in Nigeria, from secondary school, when I did common entrance, I picked a Nigerian Military School Zaria.
Okay.
I got admitted, and my mother would not let me. She's like, the only boy I have. It is impossible. We're not going to allow this. That one went that way. And then after that, I wanted
So you couldn't go ahead with that?
So I couldn't go ahead with that. And that's why, I went to a private school. And then after that, I also tried to get into NDA because my grandfather's younger brother, Colonel Babatala, was like the former payment master of the Nigerian Navy.
Oh, okay.
And, things were going on. And then my mother was like, no, it became a big issue again. I was like, okay, you know what? I just left it. So when I got to the US and I had the opportunity, it was a no-brainer. You were enlisted. I joined the Army. I picked what I wanted to do. I've been doing it. I love it.
And that time around, mommy was not there.
Yeah, she wasn't there. It's one of the reasons why I really do advocate when I make a lot of videos, and sometimes people take my words out of context, which I really don't care. But I try to tell people that the truth hurts, right? And sometimes the way we are overprotective about our children and the fears that come with it, which sometimes can be justified, but some of that also is a limiting factor in how they're going to develop. So, say for example, I go to the Zaria, I go to Nigerian Military School, and I go into NDA. In all these years now, after being having left college, I'll probably be probably a major because going to NDA directly, maybe you're a lieutenant for maybe 6-7 years.
Okay.
By the time you look at it, this is years since I've I graduated college, so I'll probably be somewhere close to that.
Oh, sure. That's it. To digress a little, I think parents should learn to actually listen to the deep desires of their children. You can always be like, Or in other words, you shouldn't. They shouldn't live your own dreams.
Exactly.
You should understand how they are because they are human beings
Yes.
on their own.
But again, it
But
comes down.
you need to give them guidance.
Yes, you need to give them guidance, but it also comes to the fact that some people in life cannot achieve their dreams, so they live vicariously through their kids. You know, like, oh, maybe they probably wanted to be doctors, they wanted to do this, their dreams couldn't come true, and then they live whatever they wanted through their children. You know, through direct
So
association.
they want their children to become the doctor.
Exactly.
You know, they want to fulfill their own
dreams through their
in
children. Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes that's actually the children's part. You see?
Yeah.
But sometimes it may not just be.
Yeah, it just might
You
not
see?
be.
Oh, awesome. And I know you as a realtor.
Yeah.
And that's what many people know you as.
Yes.
So how did you come about going into real estate?
Okay, so I've never ever done any other job than sales, right? When I graduated, I started with Nigerian distilleries in Nigeria. I did sales for a little while, and then I wanted something different because my bachelor's was in journalism. So I had to study Russian language in Russia.
Okay.
So I did live in Russia for a minute.
Oh, nice.
I liked it.
When in Russia?
I was in Saratov.
Okay.
Yeah, but I traveled a lot. I went to Belgrade, Vladivostok, Moscow, St. Petersburg. Like I went all over. Me and the boys, we had fun.
Oh wow. Okay, sorry. Whenever I hear about Russia,
Yeah.
the thing I think about is the cold.
Yeah, it's cold. Yeah, it is
How
cold.
did you deal with it?
Oh, so I'll tell you a story, right? My very first day when I got to, because Moscow has two international airports, right? There's the Mendovita and Sheremetyevo.
Okay.
So I came in through Sheremetyevo, and I got there, and I think that was the only black person on the flight,
Oh, wow.
and those at the ship really couldn't understand English, and they also had to like confirm my passport on my visa. So they went to call the school and all that stuff. They took me up to the side, waited for everyone on the flight. I was one of the first set of people to get off the flight.
Okay.
And then boom, they waited for everyone to leave, and then they finally let me go. So as I was leaving the airport, I had a jacket on and pants, and I got to the door. I dropped everything I had and I ran back inside. I was like, no. I was like, at this point, this is not going to work. Like the drivers outside the main doors were the one who brought my stuff back inside. I was like, thank you. So then I talked to one of the attendants and I said, you know what, where is the train? Like, I'm headed over to X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
And luckily for me, he had gone to like a community college in Moscow, so he understood a little English.
Okay,
So he gave me directions on how to get to where I was headed to, like
nice.
Going through the tramway, the train to the tramway and all that stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Okay, nice. So
Yeah.
so back to real estate. So what made you to really
yeah. So
venture into that?
so I've been in sales, right? I started Nigerian distilleries and then, traveled the world, and I came back to Nigeria. I got my visa. My first job here was with Toyota. I worked with Toyota for a couple of years. I loved it until I didn't love it anymore. And just because it was sales, I started thinking, what's the next thing that I like to do? What's the next thing that would actually bring out who I really am?
Yeah.
And I started looking into home sales. I was actually about to buy a home in Upper Marlboro. It was like $440,000.
Okay.
I almost went through with the process, and because at that time I was, it was just me. I was doing good, and I had the opportunity. Loved the beautiful home.
Yeah. You were single then.
At that point, yes.
Okay, cool.
And this is years ago, like 2017, 2018.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So, and I thought about it, and I was like, nah. And I had a friend then, Emmanuel Agina. Agina always like tells me. I mean, he's my close friend, but he's in his 70s. He always like, yo, buy house. So that made me start thinking about it. And when I finally moved to Atlanta, I got my real estate license.
Okay.
And my girlfriend at the time, she passively aggressively encouraged me in a way.
Okay.
So I moved ahead with it, and I loved it. I loved Atlanta. I loved the Atlanta metro. And after a while, I felt like this was limiting because again, Atlanta doesn't have the kind of size, the market, and like the buying power that the entire state of Texas has.
True.
So I did my research, and then I came over to Texas.
Oh, okay.
And then I got my license in 22 days.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
because I studied. So because I already had a Georgia license, there was no reciprocity.
Okay.
But I just studied, like, because I already like literally knew the everything. I did everything at home. I'd wake up and do 14 to 15 hours virtually, because you could do it on an app and it didn't give you time limits.
Okay.
I just do 14 to 15 hours. I'll sleep, wake up again, and then I started by driving around. That's one of the things that I tell a lot of
You
realtors.
just drove around the
Yes.
city? Okay.
Sometimes I would drive for 6 to 7 hours in a day.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Just looking at properties?
Just looking at properties, taking pictures, making videos.
Oh.
And it gave me an idea of the entire lay of the land.
Okay.
And that's why I know a lot of parts of Texas, especially the DFW, very, very well. I've also driven around a lot of parts of Houston, and also Austin now. I know the greater Austin market everywhere, all the way from Georgetown, through Elgin, through Kyle, Buda, Dripping Springs, San
nice.
Marcos
Because
area.
you've been in Austin recently.
Yeah,
and all that.
yeah.
Okay.
I like to venture. I love adventure. So I took it. I was like, you know what? Yes, I'm gonna try the Austin market.
Okay.
I tried it.
And how did it go?
I learned some bittersweet lessons.
Oh, for real? Okay.
Yeah. Again,
Needed though.
yeah. There's some
Okay.
needed lessons, and again, I'm always an open book, and learned some bittersweet lessons. First of all, when I got there was when I really understood what it means to be to shrink yourself, right? I mean, I was in a market in DFW that has like 8.7 million people,
Okay.
to a 2.1 million people market in Austin, and did not have the huge demographic that I concentrated on, which was primarily Africans. So that also based also on like the market, because the Austin market itself is going through a huge correction,
Okay.
and like prices are dropping in a lot of places. But also because wages are not meeting up, and like the whole COVID period and like the Silicon market stuff.
Yeah.
It just like people were coming from the Silicon market, they're going back, like Californians and stuff.
Yeah.
Some of them are migrating back. It's because Austin has its own typical culture that's kind of different, and when you live over there, you either inculcate with it, or you just leave.
Okay.
So,
Got you. And when it comes to real estate,
Yeah.
and do you like help people every step of the way from start to finish, like first time home buyers or existing homeowners and all that? Is there any incentive or benefits? I know that you have vast knowledge about the industry. I mean, you and I have spent time to talk a whole lot about different things, and even before we came on sets, you were giving some vital information about land ownership and stuff like
Yes.
that. So do you help people, from start to finish?
Yeah. So when it comes to real estate, one of the things I advocate for people is this: if you're in America, this is where you are right now. This is where you should build value. This is where you have to lay your roots.
Very, very important.
Very important, because if you're going to be here for 20, 30, 40 years and you're not taking a piece of the land, then you're just losing out. I get that, you might want to go back to Nigeria, but while you're here,
Or to whatever country.
or to whatever country it
Yeah.
is, like, take advantage of whatever it is. And when it comes to investing, first of all, I tell people, invest in properties that would either produce cash flow for you, or is something that you live in. That way you're offsetting your rent, because you're living somewhere. So you're offsetting your rent.
You have to pay rent.
Exactly, one way or the other, right? Doesn't matter whatever it is. Also invest in land. Land is something that a lot of people don't look at. And the reason is they feel like, oh, I have to buy that house, because the mentality from back home is, build a family house, build something that everybody can see and stuff like that. But when you buy land, when you look at all these great companies, because I was privileged to work for both Perry and LGI Homes.
Okay.
And I did that for a short while. And then, that kind of told me, it might not really be my thing. I really want to be a realtor. But I got a lot of valuable information regarding land positioning, land acquisition, how they do forward planning and all that stuff.
Okay.
Buying land is not just buying land. You have to plan. You have to look at where the proposed zoning laws in those areas,
Okay.
the actual existing zoning laws, the proposed future development, what is going to come, what's happening. Like, say for example, is there an HEB coming over here? Is there going to be a Walmart coming over here? Do your research. In 5 years, what's it going to look like? Am I holding this land for a long time, or is it just something short to turn it over?
Okay.
And also in terms of land, because land is completely different, right? Even as a realtor, there are different types of contracts. Regular homes, it's like 1 to 4 contracts. You have the farm and ranch, which is for you to buy in your ranch and land. And there's like we use different contracts for different things.
Okay.
So, but what a lot of people are used to is the FHA loan and first-time home buyer loan, and people have this bad idea that the FHA loan is the best kind of loan out there. I tell people that's a complete lie. The FHA loan.
Oh, really? Why is that?
Well, because it is only based on what your situation is. Take, for example, you have $100,000. You want to buy a $370,000 home.
Okay.
At that point, you have more than 3.5%. If you do have more than 3.5%, then the FHA loan is primarily not the best thing. Because when you're putting more money down and you have an 80 to 20 LTV on the property itself, now you're paying PMI. So why would you want to go on a loan where you're going to be paying PMI when you have more equity in this house?
Oh, okay.
You can negotiate your rate lower, and yes, overall you don't have to refi, because when an FHA loan, PMI stays for the the life of the loan.
Okay.
If you're doing a VA loan, like I qualify for a VA loan, being in the Army, then we're not paying certain things. However, your origination loan is your origination point has to be paid for, and the VA funding fee has to be paid for as well.
Okay.
Now, there's also a way you can do that if you're 100% disabled, where you don't pay property taxes, and you can also avoid paying also the VA funding loan.
Okay.
There's a lot of things that people don't know, but it has been drilled into everybody. FHA loan is the best loan.
Oh.
Yeah. Take, for example, if you're 1099, right? You necessarily would not qualify for the FHA loan.
True.
If you write off a lot of other stuff. There are different other types of loans. There are DSCR loans. There are construction loans. You can buy a piece of land right now. Say, for example, your son is in college. You're talking to your son like, hey, you're in college. You don't want to graduate until the next 4 or 5 years, right? Do you want to stay in that city? Yes or no? I'm not sure yet, Daddy. Okay, you know what? Let's buy a piece of land for you right now.
Oh.
You buy the land. You keep the land for him. 5 years from now, he gets a construction loan. And the land itself will be used as collateral. Oh. And if you still owe money on it, they just refi that, pay off the land, and put it into it. Even you can also finance land. People don't know that.
Oh,
there's a different The terms are different. The lenders that do it are different.
Okay,
everything's different.
So do you advise people to invest on lands?
Yes, 100%.
Because out there are several school of thought. People, people talk about the things they don't even understand, and they're like, I heard somebody said one time that buying a land in this part of the world is not the best thing. And all that.
So I tell people, like, it is always situational, right? It's all based on your situation. Like, take for example, somebody might want to buy a 5-bedroom house, not because he wants a high mortgage, but probably because he has a family of 7.
Okay.
Right? Somebody else might need to buy a 3-bedroom home because they're a first-time home buyer. They don't know when they're going to get married. They don't know when they're going to start a family, but they want to start building equity early, and they just don't want to throw rent away.
Okay.
Also, say for example, you're the type of person that likes to travel. I, for example, like to travel. I don't want to own a home. I can instead invest that on buying a piece of property that I know is always going to be there.
True.
Right?
True.
And the entire process of buying a house, there are a lot of people involved. It's not just the realtor. You've got a realtor, you've got developers, you have the loan officers, you have people in title. It's extremely important for you to have title policy. They're going to try to ensure that whatever piece of property it is that you're buying has a free and fair title, and doesn't have any dispute on it. So it's a lot of things that people don't know, and they've been conditioned to what they see on social media and stuff like that, as opposed to actually
and the things they hear.
Exactly.
Hearsay,
right?
So to speak.
And also, just like I tell people, is markets that you have micro and macro markets, right? And they change. Like every market changes like roughly 90 days. They say a house will not remain the same price for forever.
Yeah, true.
Even if it's a couple cents, it's because the forces of the demand, supply, and just the oscillation in the market is going to affect it, right? So all those things affect prices. It affects valuation. It's a lot of things.
Oh, true. Okay, we're going to take a quick break.
Okay.
Ayo is in my house today, and you have to eat.
Fantastic. No wahala.
All right, so we'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back so that you give us more information.
Okay.
We're talking real estate today.
Okay. No social media, just real estate.
All right, you all, it's Chef Bucci, and I'm here with Ayo the Realtor, and we'll be right back.
Come today, but today, or not tomorrow, make I show you the place. As you think, I know tomorrow, but if you want to give, I could take us to your university. Lunch Lane Connect, Lunch Lane Connect, Lunch Lane Connect.
Welcome back to the show, and I still have my guest in here. my friend Ayo, the realtor. Great to have you, sir.
You as well.
Yeah, and before we went on break, we talked about you being in the army. You
Yeah.
introduced yourself and talked about your background and all of that. You know, and of course, we're going to talk more about your real estate, and then I'm enjoying the information you're giving so far. They are for me, and I believe that some people out there also, they are gaining from the things you're talking about, and they'll reach out to you for more information, because there's no way you can give us the in-depth knowledge of the things you know in real estate. Now, I wanted to ask you something about you being in the army. I saw a video one time where you were tased. How was that?
Oh my! It was absolutely. So the thing is I actually volunteered for it because
it wasn't mandatory.
Well, it was mandatory for the entire unit. Like being the MPs, they gotta do pepper spray, tasers, and then
they did pepper spray on you too.
So I took it, but I mean that wasn't public knowledge. But also for because I'm a Sebring guy, so I'm in charge of like the gas chamber and everything because I was the only person at my unit. But I also just I volunteered for the taser, and what I'll say is this: it is one of the most painful 7 seconds of your life, but it is so fast that you don't realize it until it is done. And I think that women actually do better with it, especially women that have given birth, because the pain threshold, which I tell people, women, a lot of women have better pain threshold than men.
Women are stronger.
Yeah, I tell people like kudos to all the mothers out there.
I'm telling you.
To everybody, kudos to my lovely wife. Thank you for our babies. Yeah, yeah, but it was painful.
Wow, I'm not sure I want to sit for that, but if it's just 7 seconds,
yes,
we'll see how that
7 seconds of excruciating pain. Yeah.
Okay, so you travel a lot to Nigeria.
Yeah.
So do you have a real estate business going on in Nigeria? Can you help people?
Yeah. So I actually registered my company prior, but later than after that, I just decided, collaborate instead of compete, because I realized I just couldn't always be on ground.
Okay.
So I partnered with like 3 fantastic agents that I knew their onions and all that stuff. And I also not just knowing their onions, but we also be honest. I also look for that.
Very important.
That part of honesty, young people honest, they have the drive and everything like that. And so also some people I can hold by the neck. So if anything goes wrong, I know that, okay, I know where to go and hold this person.
Yeah.
But yeah, so if you're trying to, buy a house, or you're even trying to construct and stuff, I can help you get, people who are going to help like with the construction, general contractor.
From start to finish.
For trades and all that stuff like that. Yes. And because I travel very often.
You can always supervise what's going on.
Exactly.
Because my concern is we've had stories of people wanting to invest in real estate back home, and then they keep sending money for a space of 10, 15 years, and then they are getting pictures and videos. Oh, this is the foundation, this is the building, this is everything is ready. Now, by the time they travel home, say, let me just travel home to my beautiful home, nothing is existence.
Yeah.
I feel for those kind of people. So
it's bad.
But with somebody like you, they can connect with you.
Yes.
And then you can help them from start to finish, and then they know it's genuine.
Yes.
Right?
It's really sad that happens, but where I come in is to ensure that my own partners are trustworthy people, that I know that, hey, if I call you and I say like, hey, Tinu, what's up? I have a buyer who wants this X, Y, and Z. These are the parameters. She's going to get that, or, probably, I'm calling Onyi and I'm telling her this is what is going on and stuff like that. Or say, for example, you want to build. That also is something that's very, very difficult to monitor, because there's no assurances that people can give you, because one, Nigeria's economy is not just stable enough. Prices fluctuate and oscillate all the time. So you might buy one bag of cement for 100K today. Tomorrow it is 6K. Else, those kind of things like that. And also, it
doesn't come down to 60.
It doesn't come down. Nigeria is always going up. One of the things I also know is so many people don't have like long-term plans, right? They don't have set plans in stone. It's always like flexible. Like they like, oh, we'll go with the flow. You understand? So I usually tell people like, have at the back of your mind, have a vision. Bring that vision into actuality. Have it on paper. This is exactly where you're going, and then you work towards it. And don't let anything sway you.
True.
Because I've seen someone before that a friend of mine was trying to, construct a roof for, and he only supervised the building. And when it goes towards the roofing part of it, the guy came and said, there's one type of roof, also new roof means there's another type of new design of roof.
Yeah.
And this other guy was trying to explain to him that the load bearing structure that was already put there will not support all of that they can improvise. But then you also have to know that you are, running a risk.
Yeah.
So it's more or less like, I get that times change and trends change, but once you set your mind on something, just go straight for that thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So that's like the major thing.
Okay. So now coming back home. Now your food is served, by the way.
Oh yeah,
So,
I'm about to hear that.
Please.
The famous Chef Buchi's mix. Guys, contact him. I always make sure I eat something here anytime I come.
That's so.
Fantastic.
That's
Bless this in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Hallelujah.
Amen. If you went to boarding house in Nigeria, you understand.
So you're having jollof rice and asun.
Okay.
Asun is peppered goat meat, by the way.
Yeah, as soon as possible.
So.
Continue. I'll keep eating.
All right. So coming back home while you're enjoying your asun and jollof rice, do you sell or do real estate all over the country in the US, or is it just Atlanta and Texas?
Good question. So I'm licensed in Texas. I sell all over Texas. For Atlanta, I partner with someone else because we travel back and forth.
Okay.
My mentor is who I partner with. I've been partnering with her for years. Regina is a sweet lady.
Hello, Regina.
Regina.
Hello, Regina.
Hey, Regina. And then when it comes to other states, I have relative friends that I partner with when it comes to helping people. Like currently, I have somebody who reached out to me. She's in Maryland because I lived in Maryland as well before. I have friends out there.
Okay.
So I'm trying to work through the process. Get her pre-qualified first of all. Know that I'm not sending the other realtor a wild goose chase.
Yeah.
And we're gonna help her out.
Oh, great. Okay, so do you also help with commercial real estate, like for offices or just family? I'm not sure what the terminologies are and all that. So how far can you go in helping people?
Yeah, I mean, I dabble in commercial once in a while. Commercial is a completely different animal, it's a different beast. Because there are different type of leases, triple net lease, you're doing a gross lease. Just depends. You have to know what you're doing, have your clients' financials, also be ready to hold on, fight for a lot of things. So take for example, you're in a building that already has a different type of business, right? And they don't want no competing interest, but your client wants to be in that zip zone, that zip code, right? So now it's limited to what you can acquire. Like say you want to start like a Nigerian restaurant, and where you want to the couple of places around here that would take a food business already has a Nigerian restaurant, already has a restaurant that does something similar. Then that's a challenge. Just when it comes to commercial, and then also I have a broker. Richard is fantastic. He's been in Texas. We have offices in Texas and in California.
Okay.
So he's been in Texas for like 26 years. Has a lot of agents and stuff like that. So
nice.
When it comes to that, I have that partnership. Like I currently have them listed in Mansfield.
Okay.
That we're trying to market out. But market is still wonky. So we're taking a look at it.
Okay. I'll get back to you on that one on a personal level because we have something coming up in the pipeline. Okay. Yeah. So back to real estate. And what do you advise to someone, a young guy, a young lady that is thinking about going into real estate in this country? Maybe they have fear or whatever. What do you advise them to do?
The first thing is this: collaborate, do not compete. It's one of the things that
say that again.
Collaborate, do not compete.
Nice.
One of the things that I've realized, and I know that is the foundational problems that so many Nigerian realtors have is everybody's competing, which comes from back home, dog eat dog lifestyle. We could collaborate more. I've seen so many other places where people collaborate and they're all successful.
Man, I like that. Collaborate, not compete. It just kept ringing in my head. Because for me, I'm a private chef.
Yeah.
And then sometimes when I talk or promote other chefs, I've had some people be like, why are you promoting your competition? And that comes to me as a shock. I said, they are not my competition. Do you understand? So even if you make the same things that I make, you're still not a competition. Because there are some people that may wake up and they just want the taste that you give.
Yeah.
And they may wake up the next day, want the taste that I give. So you're making your money, I'm making my money. You can't take my customers. I can't take yours.
Exactly.
You see, we can be in the same room and you're serving and I'm serving.
Yes.
And we are both good.
Yeah.
So collaborate. I can work with people now. I have an event coming up, Launch, Learn, and Connect,
Okay.
which I also use to promote other chefs. You see? And I'm excited about it, having other chefs by me. You see, I also patronize other chefs too.
Awesome.
I can't eat all my food.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't just be feeding myself, and I enjoy eating other people's meals.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that's extremely important. I also think it's extremely important to get mentorship.
Yeah, sure.
So many people I see, the first thing they say is, when I get my license, how many houses am I going to sell? How much money am I going to make? Right? It's less about the passion for the job and just about the money. Money drives some people, which might drive you to success. But again, if you're not passionate about what you're doing, about learning about a lot of stuff, it's not going to work out, right?
True.
Take for example, today I'm going to the Colony. I want to shoot up a particular house that's on the market that just recently got on the market.
Okay.
I'm trying to make sure that I get all the information and all that stuff. But that particular zip code where it is, I don't have enough knowledge. So I'm just going to go back home, learn, call a fellow realtor that I know has a little bit of knowledge in that area and trying to get all that stuff, right? It's less about how much money I can make right now. Because for me, long term, this is what I want to do. This is where I want to be. I don't want to leave real estate. So I'd rather just keep learning, keep growing. So many people over the years have only stayed with, I'm a realtor, I've sold this number of houses, but when it comes to professional development and growing, take for example, I asked a realtor one time, what do you know about the 1031 exchange? Because I had a client who was considering it. Right? 1031 exchange is basically about you selling the property, making sure that there's a middleman and getting that money so you can investing into another property without divesting and paying taxes on top of it.
Okay.
So it's basically just like an exchange, property like for like and all that stuff. Okay. And the person looked at me and I was like, you've been in this business longer than I have been, right? But the hunger to learn doesn't, it's just not there. So if you really know you want to get into real estate, you have to have that hunger that this is what I do. There should
be a passion.
Exactly. It's not just about closings, celebrating it on social media and collecting money. No,
true.
It's different.
True. And that goes with every type of business. Because if you're going into business just to make money, there is how far you can go. But if you're going into business to make an impact and you're doing something, you're rendering service to people, the money will surely come. You see? So your focus should always be on your passion for what you're doing and then the service you're rendering. But if your focus is on the money, don't do business. Get a 9 to 5. You'll be all right.
This is awesome. Bring your questions.
All right. So we're going to be wrapping up. There's just so much we can say. The podcast is, we don't have so much time, you see, but how can people reach out to you? Because you said some awesome stuff, and I know there's some people watching, they need more information. How can they reach you?
So my number has always been the same, 301-665-0196. Or you can search me on YouTube, Instagram, or Facebook with my name, Ayo Babatola. There's a real estate side of it, and there's also like the comedy side of it, where I'm also always causing commotion on social media.
Yes, you are always doing that.
Remember, social media is not real life, right? People who really know me, they know a different part of me. So don't go and sleep on social media. But again, use it, maximize it. It's fair, Instagram has started paying me.
True. So Ayo, thank you so much for coming again. And I'm glad you're here. And this is just the beginning. We're going to have you again.
No problem.
Okay. So guys, reach out to my homeboy, reach out to my friend, my brother. You need any help or whatever, or advice in the world of real estate. There's something we talked about earlier. So people hear you give us some information and then they go to their realtor and say, can you do this and this and this and this? They're trying to get somebody else that doesn't have the kind of knowledge you have to be able to fit into, that is not the way. Why don't you come back to the person you heard it from and then get the full whatever?
Some people even tell you, oh, we have somebody you want to use, but we heard you say something, we really need other information from you, you need to do this. I've had someone close with like come to me say, "Oh, I want to buy a house." And then they asked me for a kickback. Say, how much of your commission are you going to give us? I said, no, I'm not giving you anything. She went to another realtor. Then things happened, and then she came back and started asking me questions. I was like, madam, please call the other realtor. Have a nice day. Beep, beep.
That's
Boom.
it. That's it. So thank you once again for being on the show today, and we're gonna have you again. So
No
let us
problem.
leave you and take the camera out. So
Fantastic.
You can enjoy your food.
Fantastic. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
Alrighty.
All right, everybody. Thank you again for staying tuned for the show, and we'll still have more amazing people here. And like I said, you have a business you're doing, you have something that you're doing that is good with God and good for humanity. Reach out to us. Send us an email. chefbuchi347@gmail.com, and then let us know you'd like to come to the show, and then we'll work it out and have you scheduled for the show. The show is about selling you and selling what you do so that it can be heard and be seen. So thank you so much, and I'll see you again in the next shoots. God bless you. Bye.
Lunch Lane Connect, Lunch Lane Connect,